Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Trade Talks Live. I am Roger Wakefield. Happy freaking Friday to you.
Yeah.
Why
I love Fridays, baby.
Wait, why do you love this Friday?
Well, I may be flying away on a jet plane.
Not a bad gig.
No, because I'm landing in a cool little island, which should be a really good time.
No, when you fly out of here, you can land on Florida. That's not.
I know. But like,
But Florida's
the
even better than
final
here sometimes.
destination, that's it. Like,
Florida is even better than here sometimes.
that's right, man.
If you've never been here before, look, we like to have fun, but we talk trades. And we do it because we've always taught people that if you want to be in the top 5% of your industry, in your niche, in your trade, study it. Study things going on. There's new tools, materials, equipment, technology. There's new things each and every day. And most people never study it. Once we get our professional license, we stop learning. But if you will keep learning and growing, you can move up to be in the top 5% of your industry. Now, we do that because now you don't have to. We go live every day, 11 o'clock Eastern time, lunchtime on the East Coast. And then when you take lunch in any time zone, you can just jump in, listen to it. If you got questions or comments, come in early the day before, sneak out to the Porta Johnny, put your question in, stick your headphones in, whatever it takes. If you've been here before, welcome back. We are so glad you're here. This is going to be a great day today because we got cool stuff to talk about. But the neat thing is we won't be here Monday.
Nope.
We'll be in the Bahamas Monday.
Coming to you live.
From the Bahamas.
That's it.
I wonder if I got to carry my side link.
Yes, just in case.
Yeah, we may need to.
And I can load it in my bag if you need. But
We may need to.
Everybody, good morning. Happy Friday. I'm Henry Wakefield, aka Squirt, 20-year pipe fitter by trade. Now I run Leak Pro. I handle every part of it. I get to build the equipment, and we build the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. If you're a plumber out there and you've never done leak detection, I also do a 2-day training here just outside of Dallas, Texas. Spend a couple days with me, and I will teach you exactly how to add leak detection to your business, how to market it, how to actually locate lines, and pinpoint locate leaks. To check out our equipment, you can visit www.leak-pro.com. But also, if you want to talk training, just give me a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO, and I'd be happy to discuss everything with you.
And if you ever think you might want to try to do YouTube, and people ask me about it all the time, we actually put together a free webinar that I'll give you access to. Just go to www.justmetroger.com. Go check it out. I dispel some myths that it's the reasons people tell me, oh, I can't do YouTube because. And it's like, there's really not much truth in that. So it's something you can do. And if you're interested in it, if you know anybody that's interested in it, send them that and say, hey, you've talked about doing YouTube before. Check this out. So now we're going to jump into the national news because major cities begin adopting stricter green building codes. And this is something, look, I'm a lead AP. The United States Green Building Council is who I got my certification through. But LEED AP, Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, it's a nationwide certification. I'm a plumber, and I really have no idea why I did it. It's just I knew that I was working on green jobs, on lead projects, and I wanted to find out more about it. One of the hardest tests I've ever taken because, man, when I opened up that book, and I don't think I have it in here, I mean, it's about yay thick, and I'm just like, what did I just get into? But the thing is, cities like Boston, New York, San Francisco recently enacted tighter regulations to significantly reduce carbon footprints in new builds by 2030. Now, that's only 5 years away. So there's going to be a lot of implementation going on. For a real example, Boston's zero net carbon building standard. And we talk about this a lot. This is one we get excited about. We're looking at how can we do net zero here?
Yeah.
And man, it's a really cool deal. But that mandates strict energy efficiency and renewable energy usage.
That's it. And that's what we're always saying, guys. If you're an electrician out there and you don't know solar, you better get going, man.
Oh.
I would be studying that hard, okay? And I would start a little solar install business on the side and get busy and get growing because it's the future. It's coming. I heard somebody talking the other day. They were like, "Man, I wonder if we put solar panels all across Utah, if it could actually power the country."
No, it said 100 square miles.
100 square miles.
100 square miles. Not all across Utah.
Okay.
100 square
Is that
miles.
what it was? Yep.
Said it would be enough to power the entire United States.
That's it. Isn't that?
Now, I don't know if that's true or not,
Don't know.
but it sounded good.
Hey, somebody test it, please.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'll give you like 2 square acres. I can't even say square
Got a
miles.
little bit of space here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you a couple of square acres to build on. We'll see what it can do. But here's the deal. If you're not already doing it, start familiarizing yourself and your crews
Yep.
with LEED and passive house standards. Because what that's going to do is going to get you ahead of everybody else. I loved the fact that when I had my residential service company, people could call me about rainwater harvesting, multi-purpose residential fire protection systems, things that a lot of plumbing companies didn't even know what it meant. So put yourself in that category to where, look, I'm ahead of everybody else. I understand this like they don't. And if you'll do that, guys, I'm telling you, it can separate you from everybody else later. And I always go back to the med gas. When I had my residential service company, I was one of the only plumbers I knew that did med gas as a residential service provider.
Yep.
So I could go into dentists. I could go into small clinics that had med gas, and they're like, look, we need help. It's like, okay, I got you. I could charge more for it too, because it was a specialty niche that nobody else did.
Yep. Yeah.
When you're a unicorn, man, know your worth.
That's it. And I think a really good one to start, like a good way to just kind of start dipping your toe in the water of all this LEED, is study the materials that you're using and that you're installing. Because that's where it all really begins, is what you are
Off-gassing.
starting to
You bet.
install in places. And if you start using LEED materials, you can claim that. You can let your customer know, look, I'm just prepping for the future. We're installing materials that all meet LEED requirements, or what is that LEED category?
Yep.
Classifications or
Yes,
something?
yes, it's LEED certified.
Certified.
Yes.
Yep. It's trying to think of it.
And the thing is, too, you got to get really good at it, because you start working on your certification before you ever build the building.
That's it.
You've got to know where you're getting your points. You've got to turn in and say, look, we're building for platinum standard, which is the utmost. And you've
means
got to already have
everything.
listed, these are where we're getting our points, because you got to know coming in. You don't get halfway through it and think, hey, you know what? Wait. What if we go low VOCs now?
Yeah.
Well, no, you got to start that in the beginning, because
That's
once
it.
you've already
Yep.
started in materials, you're done.
Yep.
So think about it. And, you know, a good way to start would become I think they call it a LEED green associate, a GA. And that's just the basics. Look, understand what LEED is.
Yep.
Me, oh no, I'm going LEED AP, accredited professional, jump in with both feet.
Jump in that ocean. That's what he did.
And yeah, and sink or swim, baby. But I tell you what, whenever you tell the vice president of a company, if I fail this test, I'll pay for it again until I pass it.
Yeah.
And then you find out how much the test is.
Yep.
It's like, you know what? I'm going to pass it the first time.
It's the only way to do it. That's
And
what
I
I did when this guy, hey, if you go take the, hey, but here's the deal. I'll pay for it the first time.
Yep.
If you fail, it's on you. You gotta pay to go back
But
and
then
get
you've
it.
got to do it.
That's it.
And he's like, okay, I'll do
Yeah,
that.
fair enough. Let's do it.
Passed on the first time.
Passed.
And you
That's
did the
right,
star and
baby.
the plumbing too, right? Or, no, you didn't do the
It was
plumbing.
the fitter.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there were so many similarities. I felt like in the fitter star versus the plumbing star that it was kind of like, do I really need it? No. Am I
I did it
licensed?
just so I could
Not
get those big
really.
round
So
stickers.
I know. Like
Those are pretty
So
cool.
one of my welders, he's like, "What do you mean you're a master fitter?" I said, "Well, here." I was like, just kind
I'm
of
a
here.
UA star fitter, baby.
And he looks at that. And he's like, "You are a master fitter, like that master of pipe fittery.
Mm-hmm.
How do you argue with that? You don't.
I got that one too.
That's good.
I know it's cool. It is. I mean, but that's it. I love the fact that we keep learning and studying.
Yep.
So now we're going to move into the bottom line, and job site efficiency. Oh, I'm pushing the wrong way here. Let me hit play again.
Just to
there,
make
there,
sure
there we
we're
go.
good.
No, I saw that it was on pause. But here's the deal: little hacks or little changes can lead to big savings.
Yeah.
And simple job site adjustments can significantly boost productivity and profitability. And guys, remember, as a superintendent, you got 3 things: on time, under budget, and safely. On time, there's your productivity. Get it done in a timely manner. Under budget, there's your profitability. And safety, if you ain't thinking safety every day, you're probably in a wrong position.
Yeah.
Because you've got to be looking at everything every day saying, whoa, whoa, whoa. Why are all these little cuts of all thread rod laying on the floor? You understand if somebody comes and steps on that, they could slip and break their neck.
Yep.
But set up tool stations close to work areas to reduce downtime. Now, that's why you've heard me and Randy talk. We had our own toolboxes. Supplied by the union, supplied by the company. Hey, I need my toolbox because I'm rolling around. I don't want a gang box at the other end of the floor, then I got to drag everything down to the other end all day.
Or I'd have a cart. Like if I was just running down to help a crew or do something, okay, grab that cart. Here's what I want on it. Grab my major stuff.
Rubbermaid made a lot of money off
That,
this.
oh man, tons. And
You
still
bet.
do. Like I still buy carts for things because it's easy to transport a lot of tools at one time. And then you know you're covered. And that's smart business is how I look at that.
But I like that because that reduces your downtime.
That's it. That's it. There's no back and forth. There's no, hey, go for this. Hey, go for that. Hey, go for Guess what? If I can keep that gopher right there, gopher in right there, they're never gone. So they're always there when I need them. And that's super smart.
And another deal, use color-coded extension cords. That way you can identify the lengths. If you know, reds are 25s, greens are 50s, blacks are 100. It's like, hey, you know what? We're set up right by where we're working. Just grab a couple of reds today. We're good. And that'll help because that helps your daily cleanup. It doesn't take near as long to roll a 25-foot cord as it does 100.
That's it.
And if you've got 2 or 3 of them out because you need multiple tools or multiple heads, it's like, hey, look. And that can save you 15, 20 minutes a day. And then on your daily cleanup, your crews will spend less time searching for tools if you're set up there, it's all organized. And, man, I hate to say it, set your gang box up where everything has a place.
That's it. At the end of the day, don't run over to your gang box and just unload the cart in there and go, oh, yeah, we'll deal with it in the morning. Every morning, that sucks, guys.
Yep.
Like, it is one of the worst things because then you open it and it's like, oh, crap. Oh, yeah, let's go through this and organize and reorganize the cart. Do it as you're unloading it, and that's save you a lot of time right there.
And a cool thing, too, is make a 5-minute rule. Each worker spends 5 minutes at the end of every shift getting ready for the workspace for tomorrow. That way it boosts the efficiency. You're already setting up for the next day. And guys, when you're looking ahead like that, you're thinking about things like that. I used to tell you, look, as a foreman, as a superintendent, you need to get 2 weeks ahead of your team. If you can teach your team to get a day ahead, are you already preparing for tomorrow? Are you already looking at what materials are we going to need tomorrow? Because if you're waiting till tomorrow to do it, you're already behind tomorrow. And I would literally take my lead man, my foreman, whoever it was, hey, 1 or 2 o'clock, start looking at, okay, here's where we're at now. Here's where we're going to get today. What do I need for tomorrow?
Yep. Is there
You know
anything
Yeah,
missing?
we ran out of anchors today. I
Yep.
need to get more anchors up here.
That's it.
And that way you're not coming up tomorrow morning and say, oh my God, now we got to go back down and get anchors. Well, now you wasted an hour.
That's right.
All right. Safety, big topic.
Hey, training crews on safe excavation practices.
One of Randy's
guys.
favorites.
It is. And I think the reason it's one of my favorites the most is because whenever I first originally got in, there wasn't a whole lot. And I'd get thrown in a 17-foot deep hole to do a sewer tie-in.
No, you wouldn't.
And not for you.
I was fixing this. to
Not
say,
for you.
Not on my job.
It was not for you. And I can remember being down there and looking up with these walls close. I mean, and we're down here. So I probably was not in any day. Nothing really
Right.
collapsed in the areas or anything like that.
It's not while you were in it.
Yeah. But standing down there looking up and it's like, hey, boss, what happens if stuff starts to fall? Look, get down there, get the job done, and get out of there. Why are you sitting there thinking about all this stuff? Why don't you go ahead and just do the work and get out? Because that's what we really want to happen here. And
yeah.
it's like, man, I need to learn some stuff about this just so that I understand I'm safe or I'm not. That's why these are super important, guys. And excavation incidents remain a leading cause of construction fatalities. Something we cover a lot on the channels just to bring awareness because some of this stuff can be dangerous. And proper training can significantly reduce that risk. Back then, I didn't know. I got some learning, and then it was like, okay, well, wait. The walls were pretty stiff, so depending on the soil, now I'm going to tell you it wasn't 100% per the way it should have been, but it was pretty close. Major tip here, though, always call 811 before digging so that you can get underground utilities marked.
Yep.
You do not want to hit a fiber optic line and it be your fault because you didn't call. That will be an expensive charge because
That's tens of thousands of dollars, just so you know.
that's it. Like we hit one time on a college up at A&M Commerce. They didn't know it was there though. They had everything marked and all this stuff, but it was one that just
Wow.
wasn't. And it, like they found it and they're like, holy cow, wow, we didn't even know. Like
our bad.
We had everything marked. So they call it and they're like, no, that is our fault. Yeah, we should have known that line was there. We didn't realize y'all were going that deep or something like that. And it was like, holy cow, really? So teach crew members trench slope guidelines. Typically 1.5 feet of horizontal to 1 foot vertical for trenches that are over 5 feet deep. And guys, once you start getting to 4 feet deep, if you can get on your knees and do some work down at the bottom and you are underground at that point, you need to start thinking about trench safety and have some things in place. You can use trench boxes if you're going deeper. And trench boxes are one of the safest things when you really are going deep because then you got these steel walls protecting you or things like
Now,
that.
I like this because in Texas, we're in black clay. You don't have to go 1.5 to, I mean, can you imagine going 5 feet deep and 7.5 feet wide where it's literally.
I had to do that in Oklahoma for the same. Oh
who
my
wants to work
gosh!
in Oklahoma,
I
though?
know. I did WinStar Casino expansion, largest
Okay,
casino in
pretty
the world
cool.
at the time, so
Pretty
it was
cool.
neat. But yeah, to go 6 feet deep, we were going like 18 feet wide because of the soil. And you want to talk about some wide trenches? Like people are going, "What are you flagging off?" And it's like, "Yeah, I'm digging 5 feet deep over here." But yeah, I need 15 feet wide, guys. And then I need room for my spoils and all this, and it's just like, holy cow! But it was a safe way to do it.
And that's the way
Nobody
to do
got
it.
hurt.
That is the real way to do it. Now,
Mm-hmm.
luckily, I've never been involved in any near misses or anything like that. The worst I've ever had to do is literally whenever I was building Medical City Hospital, they had a problem. They were getting they had sewer problems.
Yeah.
So we get in there and we do some exploratory stuff. The bottom, the dirt under the building had dropped a foot.
Oh yeah.
So I mean,
Yep.
the slab is basically
Just
floating,
floating.
and it's pulling plumbing apart and all that. So what we did is we got dig crews in to trench it outside of the building, and then we tunneled over and then took all the plumbing out and just ran an entirely new sewer line. And it really did. It worked really good, and it's one of the safest ways to do it. First time I'd ever dealt with the hydraulic shoring, where man,
Yep.
those things are cool. Hit it in,
They're cool.
pump
They're
it.
a pain, kind of, but
Yeah, they're
getting
a
them
pain,
in
all
place,
right.
getting the boards, getting everything with all the hooks.
Once
and
you got
stuff.
them, it is amazing.
Yes.
And the thing is, we had to go through training on that. The whole crew had to go through training on that because you want to make sure that everybody understands the safety side of it. Not just getting the work done, but on time, under budget, and safe.
safe,
I mean, I'm just saying. All right, new construction. Now, adaptive reuse. All right. So turning abandoned buildings into profit. Now, I love this because me and you've stayed in some abandoned warehouses that are not really abandoned, but converted
be,
warehouses,
yeah.
rehabbed warehouses.
Yeah.
And they're really pretty cool. And I love it. I love the tall ceilings. I love looking up and seeing concrete. But then again, I'm a guy and I'm in the trade. So it's
Well, I was
like,
gonna say when we were in construction, like I love going to my buddy whenever he was at the high rise and it's just concrete floors. He's like, man, can you believe this? And I'm like, dude, this is like what I see when the building's
you
going
bet.
up. Like I'm so used to this. This is what I watch during my lunch break. Like I look up at those floors all the time. It's great though. I love this. And revitalizing some older or abandoned buildings, it's increasingly profitable and sustainable, guys. It's so much cheaper to buy a building and convert it than to just build a whole new one in this green area and space. So it's definitely something that's happening more and more, and I see it a lot, especially around here. We live in the Dallas area, so we do see a lot of different things around. But a good example is they're converting a lot of abandoned factories into modern apartments,
that's cool.
lofts at Globe Mill, Utica,
Up in New
Utica,
York. New York.
Yep.
Yep.
And like we stayed in some in what was that, Indianapolis? that it was a old bit. They turned everything into pretty much like hotel room Airbnbs, like just mini apartments and things like that. Some people live there, some were just rented. Also transforming some historic schools into office spaces or community centers. I think that's really neat, taking the old spaces, modernizing it just a little bit on the inside space, but still keeping that old feel and style is really neat.
And that makes it really, really cool, because if you'll conduct thorough structural assessments up front, you can avoid unexpected costs later. But remember, walking in, and you know, it's funny because Chip and Joanna Gaines did that with a building. They turned it into a hotel in Waco, and really pretty cool. So, I mean, you can do some pretty neat stuff. But the thing is, you can also leverage historic tax credits that are available for these projects to increase your profitability. Guys, anytime that you can, and number one, I'll almost tell you, avoid a historic district. It's a whooping.
There's a lot of hoops.
They're big hoops.
That is a specialty that we cover at times. It is a specialty.
But you want to be able to look at it. But a lot of times you can get buildings in historically underutilized, HUBs, historically underutilized business zones. Meaning, look, we normally don't have a lot of businesses here or whatever. And if you'll do your research, find those buildings, you normally get those buildings a lot cheaper and get tax credits, historical credits, get anything you can do. It makes it work. Just saying, it makes it work. All right, mindset growth and staying positive when job site conditions are rough. And I'm going to take it beyond job site conditions. I'm going to take it to personal conditions. I remember I got on one of my foremen one day. Hey, on time, under budget. And we were getting behind. And man, I'm like, dude, we got to push these guys. Come on. And it's at a foreman meeting. And it's like, hey, do y'all have this? Like, well, we don't have this. I'm like, man, you're supposed to have this stuff out in front. And man, all of a sudden he loses it. I'm like, all right, y'all head out to your areas. Let's go. And I come. I said, man, what's going on? And he said, look, I'm going through a divorce. I said, okay. He said, I can't think. I can't focus. I can't do this. I said, brother, I'm going through one too. And he said, what? I said, I'm going through a divorce too right now. He said, seriously? He said, I can't tell. I said, well, it's because when I walk on this job site, that's in the truck. And I'm not going to think about it again until I get back to the truck. And I can't, because if so, I'm not going to get my job done. And I said, look, if there's stuff you need to go take care of, go take care of it. He says, actually there is. He said, I'm supposed to meet with an attorney today. I'm supposed to do that. I said, then go do what you got to do. But when you come back in tomorrow, leave it in the truck.
To be ready and be here.
Sometimes
please.
You got to do that. But maintaining morale is key to productivity, especially in challenging environments. If you're coming in and you're having a bad day, it can be a bad day at work or a bad day at home. It doesn't matter. You got to focus on your daily achievements. You got to say, look, we've got to get this done today. Don't worry about the overwhelming big picture issues that you can't control. The only way to eat an elephant's one bite at a time.
That's it.
And focus on those little bites. And you know, understand that. And I love what Brendan Burchard teaches. He says, when I walk through a doorway, it's a trigger for me. And it's a trigger to say, I'm going to bring the joy. And when he comes in, he's like, okay, here we go. Let's have fun. What can you do? Can you introduce short motivational toolbox talks regularly to address frustrations directly? Because you're not the only one.
Yep.
And you've got to let guys understand, hey, look, it's okay to have bad days, but we can't let it affect what we do.
Yes.
And that's hard to do, but sometimes if you talk about it, it's like, okay, you know what? And I used to have this piece of paper, and it had a line on it, and it had above the line and below the line. Above the line is, are you thinking positive? Are you looking ahead? Are you happy to be here? Are you coachable? Whatever it was. And then below the line is like, are you being negative? Are you not being a team player? Are you complaining all the time? Are you doing this and that? And then it was really good because when I pull those out on job sites, and we do that every now and then, you just ask somebody, hey, are you above the line or below the line? They're like, man, you got me. I need to work on that. But a good way to do it too is acknowledge the good work. Acknowledge it publicly when you're doing your toolbox talks. Take that. That's going to foster team pride and positivity.
Yeah.
Then when you got a problem, talk to somebody aside. Say, hey man, let's walk off real quick.
That's it. And you see this a lot on jobs where, like, guys, I was a pipe fitter. I worked a lot of hours, bunch of 712s. You did too. And you see this a lot on those jobs. Stopping in the middle of it all. Hey guys, do y'all see what's going on over here? Come here. Look at how safe they're being. Look what they did to protect what's going on around them. Da, 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 da. And just that quick break of what was going on to focusing on something else and different and talking positive about another team member, another crew that's going on, and we're sitting there watching them do it.
Hey, even better, point out another trade.
Oh,
So, hey, y'all see how clean they keep their work areas?
Yep.
I notice that every time I walk by here, and I'm not saying we're doing bad.
yep. But could we be doing a
But
little
look
better?
how good their area always looks.
Yep.
And then they're like, he didn't say we're doing bad, but he didn't say ours looked as good as theirs.
That's right.
So it lets them know.
Well, like I learned as an apprentice, whenever we would go to breaks and lunches, I would still try to do a quick sweep, at least into a small pile under a pipe jack somewhere for me to get to later. Yeah, I'm not trying to clean the area. No.
Just make it safe for people to walk
Just
through.
make it safe and tidy for people to walk through. But then I learned more people would notice that because the GCs typically walk through while everybody's on a break, out there eating out of the way, and they're just kind of coming through, checking out the space, and they are very aware of the clean spaces that they walk through on their job site.
And if you'll do that, guys, it's amazing. But share personal anecdotes of overcoming tough job site conditions or personal conditions. You know, after you're done with that divorce, it's okay to say, hey guys, look, I've been going through a divorce, so I know I hadn't been all here. I know I hadn't been all 100%, but I tried. I really have. I've tried. And then they're like, wow, man, we didn't even know it. But do that, and that helps focus on teamwork and the small wins. And pointing out those small wins is big because it lets people know that you see every little detail. And that's big. Those of y'all that are interested in learning YouTube, and I have people reach out to me all the time. How do I do what you do? It's funny because I even had a guy reach out to me one day and he says, I want you to teach me YouTube, but I know you won't. I said, why is that? He said, well, I'm up in Allen. I said, okay. He said, well, I'm in your service area. I said, okay. I said, you understand there's 8 million people in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and all the surrounding towns, and I can't get to all of them. Your company has a good reputation. I would teach you YouTube. Blew his mind. He didn't do it. But the thing is, I get more complaints, or not really complaints. I get misconceptions when people tell me why they can't do YouTube. Well, I don't have the equipment. I don't have the right cameras. I don't have the right microphones. I don't have the right lights. I don't have the right anything. And guys, when I started, I literally sat in front of a laptop and yelled at it because I didn't have a microphone. So what I'll tell you is I put together a webinar just teaching people about these misconceptions and that really that they aren't true. You don't have to have the best equipment. You don't have to start out with millions of views or followers. You just have to start. So if it's something you're interested in learning, go to www.justmetroger.com and watch it. It's a free webinar and it does nothing but bring value to you. So I hope it'll help you.
That's it. And also, guys, we would like to thank League Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. They let us knuckleheads come in here and hang out for an hour and talk trades. And we love doing that. And League Pro manufactures the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. And guys, what I do, I build a couple different devices. So I always suggest checking out the complete kit. It's
amazing.
It's the box that's the full business inside of it, guys. It's going to cover you for outdoor and indoor. The probe, it's T-handle style, solid. It's got stainless steel rod on that. It's real durable for probing in and out of the ground, running into rocks or anything that you've got in the area. It'll be okay. There's one wire up to your headphones. It's all push button activation, so nothing's on until you actually turn it on to listen, which is very important for us. And if you've ever done leak detection, you understand that. But also, the only control on the whole device is a volume knob on the headphones themselves. That's the only adjustment.
Wait, what about all the switches and frequencies and dials and knobs and...
Not all my stuff. No.
That stuff gets kind of complicated.
That
to use.
just like...
It does.
I know,
I've
and I get a
tried.
lot of leak detection guys that are like, oh, well, can you eliminate this frequency and all this? Da, da, da. No.
Nope, we're going to let you hear everything.
Everything's built into my circuitry. You will not have to get anything calibrated.
Yep.
At most, you'll have to replace the little A23 battery. No big deal. But also, I built the Sidekick. And guys, the Sidekick, it's pistol grip style. Love it. Aluminum rod, and that's the best part because that aluminum, it's a less dense metal. So whenever you put that tip down on the concrete and you're listening, it eliminates that layer of concrete that you're listening through. If you want to check out the equipment, you can visit www.leak-pro.com. And I always suggest checking out that complete kit. If you don't know how to do leak detection and you really want to learn, add this to your list of services or your business, or even start a business doing it, give me a call. I do a 2-day training here just outside of Dallas, Texas. We go through line locating. I've got 11 leaks here under a slab. We go through, locate all those lines first. Then we go through and start locating leaks under the slab to learn how to pinpoint locate those. I also have one that's outside of the slab itself so that you know what that sounds like also. Then I have a couple sewer systems set up, one cast iron and one PVC, so that we can go through and teach you how to do isolation tests throughout the entire sewer system in the mains and the branch lines to determine exactly where a sewer system's leaking, but also how to market these services in your local area so that your phone rings. So do me a favor, make mine ring and give me a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. I'd be happy to talk about the equipment or the training with you.
Absolutely, guys. All right, going to jump in the comments real quick. Israel Gosa says, good morning. Happy Friday.
That's right.
And Mr. Dean Hall says, yo, Roger, what is up? How are you doing today? Good to see y'all in here. And those of you over on TikTok, if you've got any questions or comments, you'd like to jump over onto YouTube, search for the Trade Talks Live, and jump in. We'd love to hear from you. All right, so all trades. And this is good because choosing the right job site clothing, and it's where safety meets comfort, and it's got to be both. And I remember back whenever I first started in plumbing, they told me I had to get some work boots because I was wearing my cowboy boots or something. And I ain't got no money, so I'm at Walmart shopping for my work boots.
Yep.
Guys, worst thing in the world you can do.
Yep.
I mean, God, your feet are going to be mad at you.
If you have, they last 6 months, guys, and that's it. Like,
yeah, maybe.
That's it. And you are going to feel the whole 6 months.
Well, selecting appropriate clothing can enhance safety, comfort, and productivity. Now, high visibility, moisture wicking shirts for summer months, that's great. The reinforced work pants with pockets designed specifically for your trade's tools, I love that. I love the Wrangler's got the RW brand, the Roger Wakefield brand.
Okay.
I think they call it rugged wear though.
I
I don't know why, but I'm just saying I do. I love. They've got flame proof, flame retardant. Just
Yeah.
and I like the way they've got the leather patch on the pocket right there, because I cannot tell you, when I was in the field every day on construction, I mean, you got to tape there all day, every day.
So you love the leather thing. I had a few of those. I didn't wear them very often because I hated the leather thing because it was harder for me to clip my tape to it, and then it would widen that out. So I'd just buy jeans more because I was always tearing up my pockets.
Well,
Makes it
Wrangler, if you want to sponsor the channel, talk to me. If not, talk to him. I'm just saying. No. Look, I love Wrangler.
That's it.
I mean, my shirts are. Y'all would laugh. These are George Strait Wrangler shirts. I've got my Wranglers on. It's what I wear, and I always have.
All my jeans are Wranglers.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I know. I like the rugged. I love that leather patch on the pocket.
Yep.
I thought, man, that is really, really cool.
Yep.
But also comfortable steel toe or composite safety boots that offer both protection and all day wearability. Now, I don't like steel toe boots. There were times that I had to have them because I'm on jobs where we're running 20 and 14 and 12-inch steel pipe. Even to go bid a job at Lone Star Steel out in Tyler.
Yep. You have to have it to walk the job.
I had to have steel toe boots with metatarsal protection.
Oh, yep.
I mean, Brent bought me a pair of $300 boots to go out and bid a job.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, love y'all. Thank
I
you.
had to pick a pair up one time because I was headed back to Farmer Brothers, and I knew you had to have steel toes. Well, it had slipped my mind, and I was in my tennis shoes that day at the office, and it was like, crap, let me swing by Walmart, buy me a $20 pair of steel toe boots just to walk this job and look at it real quick, because I'm not going to go, oh, well, I forgot my boots.
Yeah,
Let's
can't walk
change
the
this.
job,
Like,
right.
come on. That's it. But boots are one of the most important parts of your clothing in construction because you are on your feet majority of the days. I'm not going to say all day because, you know, I like to throw that welder on the ground, laying down, making some welds sometimes. But majority of your days, you're up on your feet. So find the right, like, I'm not much of a shopper. I don't like going in stores and spending any time shopping. I know what I'm getting, and that's what I'm there
unless
for.
it's for shoes or boots.
Boots,
Yeah.
I will spend 2.5 hours
Don't
trying
bother me
on
at all.
every single boot in that store till I find my boot.
Yep.
And this is my pair because guess what? Even the same ones feel a little different. So I would spend the time because that is the most important clothing I think that you choose.
And I've got to tell you, I mean, I've even got some of the Wrangler pullover shirts, you know, with the pocket and stuff like that. That we branded them. I mean, we did some cool stuff, but I love that. I think Wrangler's what I wear on the job site more than anything else ever, and always have. I wore Red Wing boots for a long time. Here lately, since I'm trying to walk through airport securities, I love the Doc Martens. They're comfortable. They look good. They look good on stage. I still look like a tradesperson. So that there's always something good going on there. Yep. That's probably my favorites.
Yep.
I like I put on my Milwaukee jeans the other day.
Yeah.
You know, they gave me some jeans. I love those. They're too big now.
Yeah.
But Milwaukee, I need more jeans. The gray work pants, I love those.
I was going to say, yeah, there's some of the alternatives now that are like
probably
those
give them to
flex
you.
pants that they're not denim,
Right.
so it's a little lighter weight.
And they're a little stretchier.
They're a little stretchier, stuff like that. Like it's kind of what I'm wearing on my shorts. They're comfy. They stretch. They're making these for construction sites too. Because I remember whenever I first got in, what was it back then? Like there was probably parachute pants or something that I had that I wore in high school. I wore them on a job, and they're like, "Whoa,
Yeah. Well, that tissue pen,
you are
paper
going to catch
pants ain't gonna
fire
help.
there!"
Yeah.
But whoa, no, you can't. You know, that's not allowed.
Yeah.
Now they make them to where you actually can wear them on jobs, and it's more safer. So check out some of the different ways out because summer's coming. It's about to be hot.
All right. Laws and licenses. Now, license reciprocity. How new laws may affect your business. More states are adopting licensing reciprocity, allowing licensed tradespeople to work across state lines without extensive relicensing. Now, I love this. Back when I had my company, I'd have people from all around the country. Hey, I want to move down to Texas, get a job. Okay, well, first you got to sign up to be an apprentice.
Yep.
They're like, well, I'm a master. I get it.
Yep.
Welcome to Texas.
That's it.
Now, there are some pros to this because increased business opportunities, easier expansion into new markets. Now, I still think that the master needs a state license. Now, with reciprocity, they're going to say, well, we're going to let that go. Okay, I get it. I still think the master should have to sit for the Texas Master Plumbing Exam to see what it's all about. It's a tough one, but it's a good one. But there's also some cons because you need to keep track of the verified regulation or varied regulations and ensure compliance.
Yep.
Every state does not test the same. And I think that the reason Texas has been so resistant to reciprocity is say it's really easy to get your license in Oklahoma just because it's right across the border.
Let me just run and get it there.
I'll just run and get my license up there and then I can work in Texas. No. If you can't pass the Texas test, you don't need to be a plumber in Texas. That's the way I look at it.
Well, that's it. Because you said you had a plumber one time that came from California that was
One that came from California, had been a plumber for California for 6 years, could not pass the tradesman exam 3 times.
Yeah, like I mean,
Sorry, Tony.
yeah, like and that's it. Like I'm not trying to knock anybody, but that's where Texas is like, look, we're going to hold out right now because we want you to be above this line, not below this line. And, you know, that's a good way to put it.
And I love it because I love it when they say, well, here's how we did it in California. Well, you can't do it in Texas, so go back to California. Do it there. Don't bring your California here.
Yeah.
That's why you left, remember. But here's the
Love
deal.
Texas.
Yeah, don't we? Regularly check your state licensing board and utilize platforms like NCEES or NASCLA to help you navigate multi-state license requirements. And that's all it's going to do. It's going to give you information.
Yep.
But also check with those states to double check. Make sure that what's being posted here is correct. Business training. Now we're speaking my language. Digital marketing for the trades.
That's it.
Welcome to my world. So there's some really easy ways to increase leads. Now, practical, straightforward digital strategies can significantly boost customer leads. And one of the things that when the day we walked into WETH this year, literally we walk in, we go get our badges, we're walking down the hall, and this guy comes up, says, "Oh my gosh, Roger," he says, "Look, I'm doing what you say." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Man, you told me to make videos." So I tell everybody to make videos. He said, "Yeah, but I heard you and I listened."
And I started.
He said, I made a video about what we were doing, just what we were doing that day out in the field. And I posted it on my Facebook. And then Sunday, when my wife walked into church, this lady came up to her and says, "Your husband's the plumber." And she said, "Yeah." Well, his wife had shared it. He said, "Well, I saw your video. I need a plumber. I need your husband."
Yep.
And he's like, "Roger, it got us a job." I'm like, "Why do you think I tell y'all to do this?" It makes your phone ring. It brings in leads. But one of the first things you want to do is make sure that your Google My Business or your Google Business Page, GBP, listing is accurate and frequently updated. Guys, you need to get up to 150 videos or pictures on there. 150. You can do it in one day. You can do it in 1 month. You can do it in 1 year. It doesn't matter. But the sooner you get to 150, the more credibility Google is going to give you. And then keep updating it regularly. Every other day, once a week, whatever it is, come and put a new before and after picture.
That's right.
That will make Randy's day. But do that. Make sure everything's accurate across all your platforms and you're frequently updating it. Regularly post before and after job photos to Instagram or Facebook. Now, what I love about YouTube, I could literally just make, guys, today I'm going to make a video about before and after pictures of some really great jobs we've done. Okay? And if my team's got, say, 10 before and after pictures, I talk about each one of them for about 45, 50 seconds. Okay, on this job here, Randy went out and if you look over here, the customer wanted to get rid of this and do this, and you can turn that into a video. Guys, it's neat stuff. But utilize quick, engaging video testimonials from happy clients. Anytime a customer gives you a 5-star review, call them back, say, "Hey, do you mind if we just come out and set up a camera real quick? I'd like you to tell people why you called us, what we did for you, what city you're located in, and who your technician was." Oh my God, I had Squirt come out and we had a leak up under the slab and he tunneled under and he did a complete slab leak repair in 2 days. He found it one day and fixed it the next. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Guys, you do stuff like that and then post consistently at least once a week to maintain the visibility in all the customer searches. And those of y'all that don't know, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, owned by number 1, Google.
Yep.
I'm done. I'm gonna get off my soapbox. It works, y'all.
That's it. It really does. I didn't know anything before.
Oh, you still don't.
I know I don't. Like I'm just starting to
Don't
learn.
give yourself any
okay,
credit. You don't know
just starting to learn.
You don't know nothing.
That's what you think. So funnels, automations, things like that. That's what's been I've found in the digital marketing world. Ads, things like that. I've been studying, learning, getting feedback from, and about to start regenerating some more of those because I've got some good ideas coming. But it is so important, pause, for you to have that going in your business. Up.
What?
Pause. Up. There you go.
There we go.
Boom. Let's hit that. When we're in the trades here. Sorry, I get intrigued.
No, you're
And it's my world.
just got off some OT. Glad to be here. Do you guys have any experience with supporting a copper heating riser at a single point halfway up a commercial building? No, I believe you've got to support them at least every 2 floors, or is it every floor?
Every 2 floors.
Okay.
Bear a minute. It depends on pipe size also.
And what it's made of.
That's right.
So-
and we said copper.
Yeah, that's true.
Copper heating right. Look.
But a heating riser.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
For heating water, yeah.
No, I get it.
So it's probably 2.5 inch or smaller. Installing such a thing on your site, you've never seen something quite like it. Man, I used to do a lot of risers in chases in buildings and stuff. And you're going to want a riser clamp. I don't know if you can drill in the side of the floor itself or if you're going to have to put a couple of braces across to be able to support that riser clamp.
And we've had to do both.
I've had to do it every single way possible. I've had to throw strut out. I've had to use angle iron, weld things up sometimes, all sorts of different ways to do that. But yeah, you want something going across to be able to actually support that pipe and keep it from moving all directions is
And it
the main
will.
thing there.
It
That's
will
right.
move.
It will move. It will move. And that's why you have to support it. But also check those distances just to make sure that it's just the one that you need.
All right, now we're going to roll into vehicles. Maximizing your work truck's storage space. Now, man, there's some really good best practices. But optimizing your truck layout saves time, reduces frustration, and increases your daily efficiency. And if you've got apprentices riding in these trucks, making sure every truck is set up the same makes everybody's job easier. And even not just apprentices. If you come over to help me on a job and I ran out of 3/4 90s, if I just jump in your truck and know right where they're at, I'm not looking around.
That's it.
So installing modular shelving and drawers tailored to your most used tools and materials. What do you use the most? What do you use the least? What really shouldn't you even have on your truck, but you need it there because every now and then there's something you need.
Yep.
And another great thing to do is label the bins and the compartments clearly for quick access. Now, I've done some reviews of people that have set up their vans impeccably.
Yep.
I mean, amazing. And the really good ones are always labeled. You know right where everything is.
That's it. Anybody will know right
Yeah.
where everything is.
Yeah,
And
Squirt
that's
could
the
walk
major.
in. It says
Yep.
copper water fittings.
That's it.
Gee, wonder what's in there. It's
my first day working for the company.
3/4 and 1-inch copper fittings.
That's it. It's my first day at the company. I've never been in one of these plumbing vans, but I rode over here in it. Yeah. Oh, go out there and grab this. Okay.
Yeah, may take a
Oh,
while.
hey. Oh, here we go. Look, awesome. That's what you want to do. You want to save time because time is money.
And the cool thing is, consider some custom exterior racks for oversized materials like pipes, lumber, big pipe, little pipe, pipe racks,
Ladders,
yeah,
all sorts of
There's
stuff.
all kinds of stuff that we used to have outside the vehicles, and that way you're not just overpacking the inside of it.
And there's some super cool ladder racks out there now that you don't actually have to pull the ladder from
I know.
the top
Pull-
down.
pull a
You
lever
pull
down.
the lever,
It'll
it folds
fold
it
it right
over,
down in front of
then
you.
you get it and pull it off. It's off the truck. Like, oh, safety.
That's probably
I
one of
love
the best
safety.
ones. That is one that I really did. I loved it because it was great. You know, as you get older, like me,
Yep.
my shoulders, my back, stuff like that. It's like, look, I really don't want to have to throw a 12-foot A-frame ladder up on top of the van,
Yep.
and then getting it
Walk
up
it
at
forward
the end
till
and doing
it-
it and
yep.
pushing it up and making it fall could crack it and break it. But when you've got a deal that where you just pull the lever down and this little thing pops down, you pick up the ladder, you hang it right there, you strap it down, you push that lever up, lock it. It's good. It works, and that's really helped because it saves you a lot of time, it saves you a lot of money, and it helps you get in and out of jobs faster and look more professional in front of your clients.
Yep. That's it. And like I had a work tray. I just had the single toolbox in the back. So all my power tools I had to remove from cases. And you know, it was our job's to keep up with our cases. So I had a stack of cases in my garage at the house because I needed the space, but I needed all my tools too. And it was like, you know what? Let me have
Oh, you.
a space because that's all I had, but I didn't want more than that either because
Then you start carrying everything home.
you start getting too much crap, and it's like, man, I don't want to have to unload the truck every day because I got all my cases back there and all this stuff. So,
All right, so we're going to roll into social media spotlight here. And today we're talking awesome framers. That's almost an oxymoron, isn't it?
I'm not sure, but definitely certain.
Well, yeah, there you go. So this is a popular Instagram account focused on framing techniques, job site humor, and tool reviews from the framing trade perspective. Now, we talk about all trades here, so that's one thing that I love about what we do. I love the research that Squirt does to help make sure that we get stuff like this. But this is a real world framing tips and initiative construction techniques. Innovative. Getting out there in front of everybody else. But what are they doing? There's a lot of community engagement, which I think is great. And it's brought in through practical discussions and troubleshooting. Now, Squirt, you picked this out for what?
Okay, so here's my favorite. Okay. What do we talk about the most here?
Plumbers.
The purpose of this channel is promote knowledge and education in construction.
Man, we know what that's all about.
Boom, nailed it. Love that. That's
No,
the
it's
trades
cool.
intrigue me, guys. They just really do. And I know it takes every single trade to get a building built. When I drive by them, I still tell my kids, I built that. That's right. Now, yes, there was a team of
You do it all by yourself,
1,000
Daddy?
people out there
Sometimes
building
he
it.
says
But it's
yes.
okay, you know. Like,
Sometimes he
hey,
says
I
yes.
built Parkland by myself.
See?
Okay, I
Told
mean,
you.
come on. But guys, they're doing really good here. Almost 200 million views. So cruising along.
Hold on, scroll back down. Okay. And 269,000 subs. That's great. I mean, that's a ton of views for that amount of subs. That's really,
Join
really good.
2020.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Some of the oldest here, 5 years ago. Stair layout and framing. Very basics. Some of the fundamentals of framing. Popular here, how to cut rafters fast. How to cut all those in an hour. And that's one of the biggest things. Like I always learned with the speed square, things like that. Cutting rafters was one of the trickiest parts of things.
Yep.
Till
To
you
get it
learn
all
how to
lined
do
up
it.
right.
That's it.
Yep.
But then you learn the right way to do it, and you do pretty good. I think it's just pretty cool. How you like that thumbnail? Let's build a house. Only thing you see is we're tearing down trees
Mm-hmm.
to create the space for this house.
And you look at that video's an hour and 45 minutes long.
Yep. 361,000 views, and this was a year ago. So, and that's something that I see a lot is a lot of the longer stuff really is working more and more now, especially here lately on YouTube. Now YouTube's watched more than Netflix in homes on the TVs.
I know. I still
Like-
watch Netflix every now and
It's
then.
still crazy. Yeah, I mean, me
I
too.
do.
Me too. I watched actually a show a couple weeks ago on Netflix. Always check out some cool stuff. But guys, anybody can get out there and get on social media.
I know if an old plumber can do it, anybody can.
That's it. And, there's a lot of different tips and tricks throughout these things. And same with a lot of the channels that we pull up. It's guys showing you what they do
You bet.
on a day-to-day install. And I guarantee you this gets them calls because it's out there. People see them. Man, you know what? We want y'all to do this neighborhood. We're in your area. We'd rather just have you do it. Everybody sees you on socials, and we like the work you put in because we've watched it. We've seen it. And a lot of people in the spaces in construction watch a lot of different socials. I check out quite a few different things, honestly, just
Just to see what's
because it
going
piques
on.
curiosity, It's like I even watch some of the electrician videos.
How in the heck do you do that?
Well, I'm getting interested in solar, I guess. Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. I like that part.
But I think framing is really cool because that's what most buildings start with, guys. There's got to have the framing to hold them up, and to go through, learn some of the different ways to do it, different tips and tricks to speed up that process, especially if you're first getting in and just starting into framing. Come in here, learn some of the rules, learn some of the basics, and be able to have some of those tricks ready whenever you do step out on the job and get started.
Learn what the professionals do.
That's it.
And I like this because they use their concise video tutorials for training new crew members, or you can use them for brushing up on less familiar framing tasks. Something that you don't do that often. I like the one that he showed right there. No trusses and no ceiling joists.
Yes,
Okay. And that's a cool looking, high, wide open ceiling.
that's it.
I like that.
Why? Because I want to be able to stand something up in my living room. I need to be able to stand a piece of pipe up.
Yeah. See, my filter worked. It almost didn't catch it. I'm just saying. Pretty interesting stuff. But I do. I like this. And look, we love what we get to do.
Yep.
We get to come in here and talk the trades each and every day. And we get to do it for y'all. I mean, don't get me wrong. We love it. We have fun. But at the end of the day, we're trying to bring value to y'all. So that's why we're always like, look, help us out. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you want to hear. Any of that. Let me see here. Coming back up.
Derek.
Something like it. Yeah. Right here, right?
we
Installing
did
such a thing on my site.
Yep. That's the one we
Okay,
talked about.
there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Derek Sutton, good to see you in here.
Good evening.
It's not good evening here yet,
For him,
man.
it is.
I know. Plumber in the trades, I like that. It's an engineered design. Photos, the only way to describe it. There you go. Matt McDonough says, Mr. Miyagi at Plumbing and Squirt. Happy Friday, brothers. Just wanted to pop in and say hello. Have a great weekend. Love you, Bob. Boy, that is
Hey, you
in
too, brother.
and out.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being here. Lori McNeil says, can those ladder lifters be attached to anything? Can homeowners find them useful too at home for organizing in a garage? You know, and I've seen what I like better in the garages, Lori, are the hooks screwed into the floor joists above or the rafters above, whatever it is.
Yep.
And that way you just get in there and literally I can take my long A-frame ladder, hook one end of it, go the other end, pick it up and hang it up. And that way it's hung up out of the way and stuff like that works. And Juiceman HVAC says, does Leak Pro find Freon leaks? And I'll answer this. And it does if there's enough pressure in it that it's making noise. If it's just a leak where it's just like a refrigerant drop, like an oil drop or something, and there's no noise, it's just that drip grows, and then drips, it's probably not. But if it's a Freon leak where there's pressure, it will. Now, in a situation like that, I would probably want to go, what was the other one that we did?
A sniffer.
Yeah,
That's what I would want for
no,
that.
ultrasonic.
Oh, yeah,
Ultrasonic. Yeah, the one that hears ultrasonic noises. Those are what I would probably want to try for refrigerant. Mm-hmm. But if it's leaking enough that it's making noises, yeah, Leak Pro's going to find that too.
Yeah.
Anybody interested in doing YouTube? And we did this, guys, because we got asked by a lot of people, look, will you teach us how to do YouTube the way you do? And then they're like, but I can't do it. And then we start listening to their reasons why. And it's like, you know what? If you're believing that, you need to go back and listen to the mindset stuff we talk about because you got to change your mind. Squirt never thought he'd be in front of a camera. Even when he came to work for me.
I'm not going to be.
If I'd asked him in the beginning, hey, do you want to get in there and do lives with me? He just said no. He said, why?
I won't ever do that, guys.
I'm
Don't worry about that.
I'm not ever going to do that.
Yeah.
But then he started watching. He's like, but Dad, I got stuff to say too. I know. Well, come on, come say it. And he's like, well, I want to tell you my opinion. Okay, I want to hear your opinion. Guys, we've all got stories to tell. Randy's stories are different than mine. My stories are different than his. Yours are different than ours. And there's somebody out there that needs to hear your story. And what I will tell you is the people that tell me I can't do YouTube, it normally comes down to three things. I don't have the gear. I don't have the equipment. No, but they've got a $1,600 phone in their pocket that shoots amazing video. They just don't know how to set it up.
So
They say, well, I'm not getting the views. Well, no, you're not making videos yet. But if you'll start making them, guess what's going to happen? You're going to start getting views.
people will start watching.
We have interviewed people that said, look, I just literally started making videos to show my family what I do at work.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden I look down one day and I've got 1 million views.
That's my favorite story.
I know.
I hear it from a lot of the guys.
It's like, I just did this to do this.
Yep.
So what I can tell you is that's BS. It's bull sewage. Okay? If you'll make videos and put them out there, people are going to watch them. And then the people that tell me, well, I don't have any followers. It's because you're not putting videos out. They're not going to follow you just because you have a channel. Well, now you've got 100 subscribers. Now you ought to make a video. No. They become followers because they like what you're doing. So guys, this is something that you can do. If you want to learn more about it, go to www.justmattroger.com. And I see Colton put a post in there. If you've got any pictures or videos or anything that you think's crazy stuff you've seen out in the field, go to Reddit right there. Click on that link, Roger Wakefield posts, and I'd love to see your pictures and video and hear what you have to think.
That's it. Everybody, we would like to thank Leak Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. Leak Pro manufactures the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. And the main thing is, guys, it's user-friendly. It's really easy to use. That's why we gear towards plumbers, because a lot of the plumbers come. They're like, "Well, I ain't ever done leaks. I don't know nothing about it. I just let those guys do it." It's like, look, my stuff's easy to use. If you learn the process, you can find your leaks yourself. So check out our equipment at www.leak-pro.com. I always suggest checking out the complete kit. It comes with both pieces of equipment. That way you're covered for indoor and outdoor, anything under a slab or not. But also, if you want, you can give me a call and we can talk about a 2-day training I do here just outside of Dallas, Texas. I'll teach you every part of leak locating on water systems, sewer systems, and even how to market that at your business. So give me a call, 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. I'd be happy to discuss equipment or training with you.
Guys, happy Friday to y'all. Have a safe afternoon. Focus on that before you focus on the weekend. And then come back and see us Monday from the Bahamas.
That's it.
Whatever you do out there today, do it safe and have fun.
Everybody, happy Friday. I hope y'all enjoy your wonderful weekend. I hope to see you back in here on Monday. Get out there, hit it effing hard. Bye, guys.
See y'all.